Welcome to Beer and Iron's Salsa de Cerveza, Sulae's red enchilada beer sauce recipe. This is a quick and easy enchilada sauce recipe that will give your enchiladas a bit of a zip and a zing. It's a red sauce, but not considered spicy. We'll keep things on the mild side here and let you spice it up as you like. Though I love tomatoes and sauces made with tomatoes, this enchilada sauce does not have any tomato ingredients. The main ingredient for this enchilada sauce is chili powder and beer, but we'll talk about beer in a bit. Measure out 1/2 cup of chili powder and add it to a bowl or a container for mixing. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. You can use regular paprika if you like, or just leave out the paprika. I like to grind my own pepper for this recipe, and I grind 1 teaspoon of peppercorns. You can, of course, pepper to taste. Measure out 1.5 cups, or about 350 milliliters of chicken broth or stock, and let it get up to room temperature. For the beer, we're going to use a Mexican lager. You can use really any easy drinking lager for this recipe. A 12-ounce can or bottle of beer is perfect. That's about 1.5 cups or 350 milliliters if you're measuring from a larger container. It's a good idea to let this beer get on up to room temperature. We're going to start by creating a roux. For our roux, we're going to need oil and flour. Measure out 1/4 of a cup or 60 milliliters of oil. Then, measure out 1/4 of a cup or 31 grams of white flour. We can salt to taste later. Make sure your seasoning is all mixed up and ready. A spoon works perfect for mixing the ingredients. This is my little Asian sauce pot. It's become one of my most beloved pieces. I found it in the wild along with a bunch of old rusty pots I brought home and restored. Some of those old pieces were gated. This piece is pocked and pitted, but after a few years of use and seasoning, it's smooth as glass. It's a go-to in our kitchen, and we're going to be using it to create this enchilada sauce today. You need a pot that'll hold about 4 cups or 1 liter of liquid and allow for frothing. If you're using a cast iron skillet, do a test measurement of the skillet just to make sure you can handle the volume. Do you know what a roux is? What about creating a roux? There's a link in the description if you need a roux how-to. First, we're going to make the white roux. Heat 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of avocado oil or olive oil to the smoke point where you see little wisps of smoke over the oil. Then add 1/4 cup or 31 grams of white flour to that hot oil. Keep a stirring motion with a flat-edged spatula like this wooden spatula. Don't let that dude burn. If it burns, you'll need to start over. If you're enjoying this recipe, consider giving us a thumbs up, clicking on that subscribe button, and giving a little ding on that dinner bell. Once your white roux is created, add 1.5 cups or 350 milliliters of chicken broth or stock. Careful. Remember, that's hot oil we're adding a cooler liquid to. Mix things all about. Now add the 1.5 cups or 350 milliliters of beer. It'll froth up a bit. Go ahead and toss in all of your seasonings and spices. Whisk everything up real well. At first, the sauce is going to seem thin, but we're going to let it simmer a bit and open to the air. Let that roux do its job. Along with some time and the awesomeness of that roux, it'll thicken up perfectly. I'm using a slotted spoon here to show you the thickness that I shoot for. I store my enchilada sauce in canning jars. This is not a canning recipe, and the enchilada sauce will need to be used right away or stored in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. I enjoy this sauce on more than just my enchiladas or my enchilada casserole. This sauce is awesome on eggs for breakfast. As far as my enchilada recipe is concerned, that's another recipe and video. But let me show you one of my secret ingredients for our enchiladas. It's my coffee-crusted pork roast, cooked low and slow. I'll have this pork shredded and ready, as well as my enchilada sauce created and ready for tonight's enchiladas. But first, we're going to enjoy a beer or two and time with family and friends. I hope you enjoyed this Salsa de Cerveza, Sulae's red enchilada beer sauce recipe. Consider giving us a thumbs up, clicking on that little subscribe button, and giving a little bit of a ding and a dong on that dinner bell. You all keep on cooking in those cast iron beauties and enjoying those frosted glasses of that fermented barley pop. We'll see you next time on beerandiron.com.